Hello everybody and welcome to College Sports Up. So today I'm going to be doing my first NFL mock draft. And for people who don't want to watch the whole video, I'm going to be putting all my picks in the description. So just look at the description and you can see who I have picked for your team. And to be completely honest, after pick 20, I don't really know too many of these players. Mostly because the only really two college football teams to actually watch are Miami and Ole Miss. And none of their players are expected to go high in the draft, if any. So after Detroit, I'm just going by position, really. So there's that. So with the first pick, the Cleveland Browns pick Lamar Jackson. So first of all, a lot of people aren't expecting him to go that high. I'm really not that high on him either. But Cleveland Browns need a quarterback. And Josh Rosen, and Sam Donarld have both said that they don't want to go to Cleveland. They haven't exactly said that, but they kind of mentioned it. They didn't say it by words, but they kind of implied that. So Lamar Jackson didn't say anything about that, about not wanting to go to Cleveland. And honestly, his stats aren't that bad. He actually reminds me a lot of Watson, my bad. Deshaun Watson. Yeah, his completion percentage isn't that good, but neither was Watson's. And he was the best rookie quarterback of the draft class, so far at least. Honestly, he was the only quarterback who actually started and played well. Most of the rookie quarterbacks didn't even play that year. But let's just look at his stats. So, he has 27 passing touchdowns and 10 interceptions, and he also has 18 touchdowns for a carry. Rushing touchdowns, So, he's a lot better than expected, and he did win the Heisman last year in 2016. In the second round pick, I have Josh Rosen, who, I have to be honest with you, this whole rookie class is kind of underperformed, really. They had a lot of hype going in 2016. Pretty much every quarterback, besides maybe Baker Mayfield, disappointed this year. I'm only going to do stats for quarterbacks because, again, this draft was supposed to be very good for quarterbacks, and still may, but I'm just going to be pointing out the stats for quarterbacks, and that's it. And Saquon Barkley, who technically is my number one overall pick, prospect, but he's not going to be an overall one pick. So in 2017, he had, Josh Rosen had 26 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. Not great, but I feel like he can use some tutelage under Eli Manning. And honestly, I believe that Eli Manning's going to stay with New York. I don't see him leaving. If they do cut him, he's going to retire, I can assume, because from what I hear so far, New York is his life, really, and he doesn't want to go anywhere else. Okay, so the third overall pick by the Colts, Brandon Chubb, the DN out of North Carolina State. Honestly, you could have gone anywhere with the Colts. They could have got Saquon Barkley. They could have gone after a tackle anywhere on the offensive line. Even Minkah Fitzpatrick. But really, you can't go wrong with a pass rusher, really. And this is why I have Brady Chubb going there. And then, speaking of Saquon Barkley, I have the fourth pick from the Texans that got sent to the Browns because of Deshaun Watson going to the Texans. The Browns get the fourth overall pick and pick Saquon Barkley. And this is probably the best outcome that the Browns can have. Pick a quarterback in the first overall pick, and then come back in the fourth overall pick and pick Saquon Barkley. He's definitely my favorite prospect in the league. So this year he had 1,271 carries and 18 rushing touchdowns with 632 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns. Best overall prospect, had a really good game against Washington in the bowl game. He had 18 carries for 137 yards and 2 touchdowns, 7 receptions for 38 yards. He was the MVP of that game, honestly. I didn't watch the whole game, but I saw a good bit. It was just a really good game, which you kind of really needed, in my opinion, because his draft stock kind of dropped a little bit after the Rutgers game and the Michigan State game, in my opinion. And then, with the 5th overall pick with the Broncos, I'd say Sam Darnold goes. Honestly, I don't know if they should let Lynch develop. I don't know. He didn't play very well out of the games I saw him. I didn't see any games I saw. I just saw highlights and analysis. But I feel like they're gonna go for a quarterback. They need something. I mean, and honestly, again, Sam Darnold, like all the other quarterbacks besides Baker Mayfield, disappointed this year. He had 22 touchdowns and 13 interceptions, passing-wise. And then moving on to the Jets, another quarterback, Baker Mayfield. Yeah, he's 23 years old. And the reason why I don't have him going to the first overall pick is because people are saying that he's like Johnny Manziel. I don't think he's that bad. Yeah, he's cocky. He trash talks a lot. But I really haven't heard, to be fair, I haven't really Googled any off-the-field issues like he had with like Johnny Manziel issues. But he's a very good quarterback on the field. Let's look at his stats for 2017. So he had 43 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. And to be honest with you, I was really rooting for Oklahoma to win against Georgia. In fact, when they started losing to Georgia, I had to turn off the game. I was with my friends. They all wanted to root for Georgia for whatever reason, which makes no sense to me. We're from Louisiana. We shouldn't like anything from Georgia. But that's besides the point. But the parts I did see that he played against Georgia, he played fantastic. He played lights out. He had 287 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Again, they ended up losing that game. But as far as I can tell, it wasn't his fault. And in my opinion, he's my favorite quarterback so far. Again, it's so early in the draft process. But he's my favorite quarterback. On to the 7th pick, the Buccaneers. And to me, this is going to be a steal. Minkah Fitzpatrick, the DB, he can play safety, cornerback, whatever you want him to play. Extremely good out of Alabama. And Buccaneers really need a defensive back, in my opinion. Yeah, you can go running back. Yeah, you can go pass rusher. But somebody like Minkah Fitzpatrick, they're going to change that team. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs, mostly because of the fact that the NFC South is so tight. And the NFC altogether is super tight. But this is... I don't want to bring up the hype too much for Tampa Bay. They had a lot of hype coming into the year. Didn't turn out well. But they drafted this player. I feel like they're going to turn it around. Definitely my second favorite player in the draft. Probably my second overall prospect, really. But you can't really draft a safety or cornerback that high. Or superstition, or whatever you want to call it. They don't draft players in the backfield that high. 8th pick overall, I have Courtland Sutton of SMU going to the Bears. Honestly, you can all the wideouts are interchangeable in my opinion. I haven't really watched any of the wideouts, but the Bears need a wideout. They got a franchise quarterback. I mean, potentially. We don't know how he's going to be. He didn't play all that well this year, but to be fair, he had no talent around him for the receiving game at least. So they just need a wideout. The 9th overall pick, I have for the 49ers, I have Derrius James going. You can arguably say that he's the best safety, mostly because Minkah Fitzpatrick's not a pure safety. But he's been injured a little bit, from what I understand. but he's fantastic, really, out of Florida State. If I remember correctly, their GM, the 49ers GM, did play defensive back, so they're going to want to get a defensive. At least he knows the value of getting a defensive back. And they have a franchise quarterback in Garoppolo. You can argue that they should take Guice. I'm not the biggest fan of Guice, to be honest with you. But again, similar to the Colts, they can go in multiple different ways and still make the correct pick. I just have them taking Derrius James right now. With the 10th overall pick, the disappointing Raiders, who honestly I had them going to the Super Bowl coming into this year. My picks for the Super Bowl were Packers and the Raiders. That didn't turn out well. Neither of them made the playoffs. So the Raiders, for the longest time, it feels like, need a linebacker. And I have them doing so with a 10th overall pick in Roquan Smith. I don't know how to pronounce that. Most likely I mispronounced it. Out of Georgia. They always needed a linebacker. They're finally getting one. And I feel like they're going to make the playoffs with this pick. Dolphins. For whatever reason, they got rid of Jay Ajayi. Yeah, he didn't have a great year this year, but the last year he had fantastic numbers. And then, even though I'm not the biggest fan of Derrius, Guice, I have him going to the Dolphins. With a 12th overall pick by the Bengals, they finally fix up the offensive line. And get Quenton Nelson out of Notre Dame, the guard. And finally fix the offensive line. The 13th overall pick goes to the Redskins, and I have them taking a safety, Ronnie Harrison out of Alabama. I mean, maybe, I'll be honest with you, I didn't really watch Ronnie Harrison too much. But out of all the draft boards, he's fairly high. And they need that. 14th overall pick for the Packers. I'm taking Connor Williams. Some scouts say that he can be the overall number one pick. Possibly. I mean, Mike has a lot of potential. Connor Williams. I was looking at the other offensive tackle. And the Packers desperately need offensive linemen. That's it right now. 15th overall pick out of Josh Allen. I really like Josh Allen, even though his accuracy is a problem. He comes from a small school, so he doesn't have that much talent around him. But I just really like this guy, to be honest with you. And I have him going to the Cardinals because I'm pretty sure that the Cardinals QB retired. 16th overall pick going to the Ravens. Taking Calvin Ridley out of Alabama. The wide receiver out of Alabama. And again, wide receivers can be interchangeable here, mostly because I don't know any of these wide receivers. 17th overall pick is Mcglinchey, the offensive tackle out of Notre Dame. Chargers always had problem with offensive linemen. Finally, they fix it here. Yes, they drafted an offensive lineman in the second round last year. But he's better. He can play right or left tackle. Let's see if he gets this done. 18th overall pick. 19th overall pick. Wait, no, I was right. 18th overall pick. I have the Seahawks taking Josh Jackson. I honestly believe that this is a steal. People believe that he's the best quarterback in the league. I agree. He has 7 interceptions coming into the draft. Yes, the Seahawks had a good draft pick out of, I honestly don't remember his name, number 26 for the Seahawks, rookie cornerback. But he should more be a slot cornerback. I believe he was drafted in the 3rd round. Josh Jackson is just the best cornerback right now. 19th overall pick, I have Harold Landry, the edge rusher of Boston College. He kind of followed down big boards. A lot of people say that he's going to the Saints. I don't see the Saints being able to reach him. He's a very good pass rusher. I see him going to Dallas, who need pass rushers. Even technically, they do have the best pass rusher in the game right now, but he's older. He's 30-something. Let's see. Speaking of pass rushers, I have Arden Key going to Detroit, 20th overall. Sorry, I'm still a little sick. Arden Key really fell off from his previous year. He got a lot fatter, slower. But he's still going to be a good pass rusher in my opinion. 21st, I have the Titans drafting Quenton Farrell, the DN out of Clemson. Titans need another pass rusher. All their pass rushers are getting old. They fix that up. 22nd overall, the Falcons take Marcus Allen. And by the way, when it comes to playoffs, obviously my draft order is going to be a little different compared to everybody else's because it's based off of who I think is going to make the Super Bowl and who I think is going to be eliminated first. So obviously, I believe that the Titans and Falcons are going to be out in the first round. So Marcus Allen, I believe is going to go to the Falcons. Yeah, they have Keanu Neal. Marcus Allen, it just says that he's a safety. So if they get these two safeties, they're going to beat the Seahawks. Literally, they have Desmond Trufant. They have Keanu Neal. If they get Marcus Allen, it's going to be pretty much the Legion of Boom. Very good young defensive backcourt, similar to the Saints. And there's actually a lot of similarities from the Saints to the Falcons, ironically. Or possibly anti-ironic, however you want to view it. 23rd overall, Christian Wilkins, the DT, going to Clemson. Out of Clemson, going to the Bills. Unfortunately for the Bills, they can't. I don't see a suitable quarterback falling this slow to the Bills. So they take the next best thing in a pass rusher, and the interior pass rusher in Christian Wilkins. 24th overall, the Panthers drafting James Washington, the wide receiver out of Oklahoma State. They desperately need something in offense besides Christian McCaffrey and Greg Olsen. I'm not the biggest fan of Cam Newton. He's above average in my opinion. He's very inconsistent, but when he plays good, he plays good. And he just needs something on offense besides a tight end and a halfback. They traded away Kelvin Benjamin. Yeah, he's not the best wideout, but I felt like he was a good number 2. Average number 2 wideout. Hopefully, for Carolina State's James Washington or whoever they draft, hopefully a wideout gets it done. Even though, obviously, I'm a Saints fan, and I don't want them to go well. Okay, the 25th overall pick, the Bills via Chiefs. I have Malik Jefferson out of Texas. 26 overall, I have the Rams taking Jair Alexander. I don't really know who that is. I just believe that they can use cornerback help. Jaguars have somebody. 27th overall, I have the Jaguars taking Rasheed Evans. Again, another player who kind of fell a little bit in my opinion. I honestly kind of wanted the Saints to draft him. But in this mock draft, I had the Saints falling a little bit. 28th, I have the Eagles taking Denzel Ward. Yeah, he fell a lot. Mostly because he's a smaller cornerback. He's a very good coverage cornerback, but he's also, I believe, 5'10". Not ideal. And I see him falling. 29th overall, I see the Patriots taking 29th overall. And Marcus Davenport, the edge out of UTSA. I don't really know who that is. I just feel like the Patriots should take a pass rusher. 30th overall. Honestly, the Saints being this low could be biased. But honestly, I see them being the Panthers, going to the Eagles, who don't have Carson Wentz. I see them beating the Eagles and then losing eventually to the Vikings, which is very realistic in my opinion. So 30th overall, I have the Saints taking Mark Andrews. Yeah, he may not be a first-round draft pick, but I believe by the compound that he will be. He won the best tight end award. The Saints, in my opinion, need a tight end or a middle linebacker, or technically any linebacker. For Saints fans, yeah, our linebackers aren't that bad, but we don't have athletic linebackers besides maybe like Teo. And he's more of a situational. Steelers, they find Mason Rudolph, the Oklahoma State quarterback. I'm really high on Mason Rudolph. Most likely, he won't be drafted in the first round. But I don't know. I just feel like the Steelers need a quarterback because who knows? Maybe Ben Roethlisberger will retire. Which honestly, I feel like that'd be stupid because they are in prime position. If not this year, then the next year or the year after that to win a Super Bowl. They have a nice core going on. Sure, Ryan's is here. In my opinion, one of the best middle linebackers in the league is out for this year and possibly the rest of his life. Hopefully not. I just want him to be okay. I don't know if Ryan Shazier is going to play again, but who knows. And then the Vikings, 32nd overall. Even though I can't stand the Vikings, I feel like they're going to win the Super Bowl this year. Mostly due to defense. Case Keenum's going to play well when he has to. I have them drafting Vita V, the defensive tackle of Washington. He's a good pass rusher. He had 5.5 sacks. You can never have enough pass rushers. But thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to share the video. Thank you.